Welcome to Art History in a Hurry. I'm your host, Monica Hahn. Last time we looked at Impressionist painting and how it explored the way light can change and dissolve form. But Paul Cezanne, the painter of this work, said, "I want to make of Impressionism something solid and durable." Well, what does this mean? This painting of Mont Saint-Victoire in southern France shows some superficial similarities to Impressionism with its sketchy brushwork. But rather than breaking down form, as artists such as Monet did, Cezanne uses blocks of color to build it up, as geometrical patches of colors create the forms in this painting, such as the houses in the foreground or in the mountain itself. Cezanne was interested in finding the underlying geometric forms in nature. He said the natural world can be reduced to a cone, a sphere, and a cylinder. Still life allowed him to explore these ideas even further. Here again, in this still life, we see in the objects cylinders, spheres, cones, and the way in which Cezanne uses color to build up these forms. Here also, we see Cezanne's exploration of the way we look at or perceive space. For instance, the table itself is tilted oddly forward to display the objects that are on it. And if you look at the front edge of the table, it enters beneath the tablecloth at one location on the left and then continues on a completely different plane on the right-hand side. This kind of multiple perspective would be very influential for artists of the early 20th century. One of Cezanne's most important paintings is this large-scale figure study. Cezanne simplifies the forms of these carefully arranged nudes so radically that parts of them remain completely undefined. In fact, in some areas, the primed canvas even shows through. Their faces and the bodies are reduced to the barest essentials, and it's this kind of abstraction of form that again would influence artists of the 20th century. You might imagine that at a time when bathers such as these by the academic painter Bouguereau were considered the standard, that Cezanne's paintings were initially rejected by the Paris Salon. But exhibitions of his work mounted after his death both in Paris and in New York made avant-garde artists aware of his work. Painters such as Henri Matisse, who also experimented with color and with form, spoke of Cezanne's influence, as did Pablo Picasso, famous for his explorations of abstraction and perspective. In fact, both of these artists are credited with having said, "Cezanne is the father of us all." Artists throughout the 20th century cite the importance of Cezanne's work to their own, and this continues into our own time. This is a work of inkjet printing on paper by the conceptual artist Sherry Levine from 2007, titled "After Cezanne." The significance of Cezanne's exploration of color, form, space, and the very way of looking at the world around us, and his impact in the century since his death, can't be underestimated. Thanks for joining me today. This has been Art History in a Hurry. See you next time.